Hello and welcome to Traffic Talks. My name is Pyro and I talk about what's going on in my life, usually with a lesson I've learned, some tips and tricks you can follow that helped me, and a lot of laughs in each episode. If this sounds like something you would enjoy hearing, feel free to follow the podcast, subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and to see what I'm up to, you can check out my Instagram page linked below. Bye! Hello and welcome back to the podcast. First of all, I am trying something different with recording, so if there is an audible difference, please let me know whether it's good or bad. But yeah, definitely trying something new there. Number 2, gonna get some of the admin out the way. Yes, this episode is probably gonna be late because I am recording it late. Not even gonna apologize, it is what it is. And life has been lifing, as I've been telling my friend recently. It's just been crazy. It is the 1st of Feb. How is January gone? I can't. And then also, last month, weird to say, was very hectic. I'm still in holiday mode, as we all know. So I'm still not in it to win it. I'm building up to it, but I'm just not there, and I don't care. My birthday's coming up. I'm turning 30. It's a whole other life issue. I'm not there. So I'm going to try and upload each week, even if it is late, but I'm still going to push through. So yeah, admin out the way. Moving on to the next point. This is the final episode of the wrap up of the planning for January. When I originally did the dates, I planned on uploading Tuesday, meaning yesterday would have been the last day of the month. It would have gone up. Then everything would have been in alignment, but it's not bodied. We move on. So today's episode is essentially just wrapping up and summarizing everything and just explaining what I like to do at the end of a month reflection, because that's what it is. I've also been trying to take pictures of my bullet journal that I've been using. Fun fact, I spoke about my bullet journaling in, I think it was 2 episodes ago, when I talked about breaking down things, and I did 3 takes of that episode, and in one of the takes I mentioned a bullet journal, and I never mentioned it in the episode that actually went up. So yeah, I'm using a bullet journal this year instead of a usual diary that I bought, just because I wanted to fully commit to it. And my plan is to use it for 6 months at least. And if I don't like it, I'll buy an 18-month, which is generally from the middle of the year to the end, and then the full following year, the next year. But we'll see how it goes. So far, not bad. I've got a good, solid template going for my week, which I'm going to post to Instagram so you can check that out. But yeah, I'm excited. So, onto the episode. I've mentioned figuring out and taking the good and the bad from last year. That is something I generally do at the end of the month for the past month. I like to have a little 2-page spread, and on one side I just generally summarize the month. So this is looking at the good things that happened, the bad things that happened, any highlights. For example, this month my sister passed her license, so she is fully licensed and she is living her best life. She is going out whenever she can, and if my mom needs a braid, she's just I can go buy it. Do you need anything from the shop? I can do it. So that is fun. And we all are just happy because it's such a fun thing to get your license. I've mentioned this prior. I've never been eager to get my license just because I didn't need it. I never felt that compulsion to be licensed and get on the road, which is funny because my father's a mechanic. So I've been around cars my entire life. I've just never felt the urge to get in one and drive. Now that I am licensed, I just want to do a long-ass road trip. That is my goal in life, to do a long road trip to PE, because I love PE. It'll always have a special place in my heart because it was my first flight. So that is definitely something I want to do in life. But yeah, a long road trip is the dream. So that is a highlight. Being able to celebrate other people's success. In this case, my sister. Looking at low points, yesterday was rock bottom. Just work was crazy. There were issues there. Not anything major, just it makes you think. And those types of things are essentially why you do a reflection. You want to get a perspective. Because it's not a bad life. It's just a bad day. Just like the whole month wasn't bad, there were highs and lows. And you want to write those down on one side. And on the opposite side, you want to do your wins, your losses, and your improvements. So this is where you're going to write down your wins. No matter how big or how small, it can be literally drinking a glass of water each and every single day. Because water is important, people. I literally typed into my phone on my water tracker that I drank 500 ml because I just finished my water bottle. And I said to my sister, yay, I just finished my water bottle. I can log 500 ml for the day. And she looked at me and she said, I can't remember when last I drank water. So water is important, and if that's your goal, just start with 1 glass a day, and that is victory. We don't compare. That's not what we do here. We don't compare our wins to others, our losses to others. Everyone is on their own thing. We don't compare. Comparison is the thief of joy, so we don't do that. Your wins is your wins no matter what it looks like to anyone else. That is what you're going to write down. Your losses as well. Did you lose your cool with someone? Did you spend more money than you intended to? Did you do something stupid and you want no one to know, but at least you wrote it down so you can keep a record so you don't make that mistake again? Those are the things you write down. The next section is what you want to improve on going forward. Did you hit your goals? Didn't you? Were you happy with what you did? Weren't you? Write down why you felt the way you did and what you can do to improve it. I drank enough water this month. My improvement is, yes, I'm happy, but I want to drink more. So I now have a drinking schedule for my water. Those are the things you need to do in order to get somewhere. And if you don't want to, that's also cool. But at least you can reflect on it and look back and remember what happens. Because a lot of times, especially for me, my memory is like a goldfish. I'm just like, what was that thing again? So reflecting, looking back, and actually having it written down somewhere is very important. One thing you can also do is take this a step further. If, like me, you are using a bullet journal, or even you just have a journal or notebook with space at the back, you can actually write down your monthly highs and lows or anything memorable you want to keep at the back every single month that you do this, so that at the end of the year, when you reflect on your year, you can actually look back and see, oh, these are all the things. That is something that I do with every single month end. I reflect on that. Another thing I also do is look at my finances. I don't know why, I just really like finances. And guys, December was hard, Jan was long, and Feb is year. Like, this is financial year end. If you aren't reflecting on your money right now, you have another 27 days to do so. So put it to good use. Like, this is the time to balance the accounts. Literally. Like, literally. Yeah. And speaking of finances, you can find all sorts of templates online. That was another thing I recommended this month, or rather last month. Look into getting templates for yourself. Especially if you have a Pinterest account, you can find anything under the sun there. It will help you immensely. I have a template in my bullet journal for my podcast each week. So on my weekly spread, there's a section just for the podcast, which actually shows like, this is the topic, this is what I need to do, that's what I need to do, just to help me know where I am, but also be like, you need to get things done. Clearly it hasn't been working, but at least it's there. Once I do get busy with it properly, it will definitely fall into place a bit better. My goal for the end of Feb is to at least be a week ahead, especially because so many things are happening this month, with Valentine's coming up in 2 weeks, the podcast having a birthday, me having a birthday. That's the 30th for me. You know, it's my 30th birthday. That's a big thing. So there's a lot going on, and just getting ahead will do the best for me. Segueing very weirdly into the next section was something that I funnily enough forgot to mention in all the planning, and that is hobbies. So aside from trying to figure out what you want for your life in terms of your relationships, your health, your finances, your relationships, I think I said that, your goals. What subconscious nonsense is this about relationships? I think it's just because I mentioned Valentine's. Moving on, all the things I mentioned, your financial goals, career goals, all the things you want to achieve. I didn't mention hobbies properly. Aside from having hobbies that you've been doing, they always point out, and by they I mean social media and stuff, they always have this trifecta of hobbies that you need to have. So it's a hobby to keep you fit, a hobby to keep you creative, and one to make you money. I've actually been reflecting on that very hard over the last while, and I have realized what I thought was my creative hobby is turning out to actually be my money hobby, if I can put it that way. For me, I think a hobby that I want is yoga to keep me fit. Just because I love it, I can do it anywhere. It's like zero equipment. If you are traveling, you can just take like a towel and line it up till you have a soft floor. I'm sure someone can find you one in a hotel. It shouldn't be the end of the world. I mean, you can do it literally anywhere, as long as you've got a little bit of floor space. So to me, that seems like the easiest one. That and dancing. I think I need to pick up some type of fitness hobby that's either dancing or yoga. Because funny enough, I actually wanted to buy the 2023 version of Just Dance. And I was just going back and forth and I'm just like, if in doubt, don't. So I didn't. But like that can actually be a really good exercise. So maybe I need to rethink that for my birthday. We'll see. But yeah, fitness hobby is definitely going to be yoga or some dancing. I've also been looking at like salsa videos or maybe something of that nature. I don't know, but I'm leaning more towards the yoga, ironically enough. The hobby to keep you creative. That I thought was this podcast because it is creative in a way, very much so. But I've realized I can actually get sponsorships if I try hard enough, if I put a bit more effort in and, I don't know, become more firm and actually see it as a potential side hustle. I could actually make money off of it. So I actually think I'm going to try and do that, because I also enjoy writing for fun on the side, and that I think is my actual creative hobby. Because, and let me just state this for the record, I have mentioned I write for fun and I thought I could turn it into money, but now I know I won't. Just because I did try writing something and it just did not work. I put too much pressure on myself and I'm just like, no, this is like, it's making me lose my mind and then I'm completely drained creatively. So I'm just like not gonna do that. But I do write for fun. So I think writing is now my creative hobby, and what I thought was my creative hobby as the podcast is going to be my money-making hobby, even if I haven't made money yet. So yeah, I think deciding your 3 hobbies is also a good thing to try and do for this month, just because you never know what's what until you actually sit down and write about it or think about it. Another hobby I have that doesn't fall under any of these categories, but is definitely something I enjoy, is gardening. This past week I've actually been sticking to it really well and actually just put my tomatoes outside, whereas I was cultivating them inside. So that is also just another fun fact for you about me. I do enjoy gardening, and I actually still have this little cacti in a glass that we got at my cousin's baby shower. Why did I go so high on that last word? Wow, okay, sorry. At the baby shower, we all got a little cacti as a thank you. And mine is still alive and thriving. Everyone else's in the house has died a miserable death. And my sister has actually taken hers to her apartment in Observatory and it died there. So, yeah, I'm very proud that I've kept the poor thing alive. That is the episode. Find your hobbies. I think to wrap up, find your hobbies, reflect on the past month, and just don't beat yourself up if it was a bad one. I think life is hard enough, and this economic times is draining enough, and Eskom literally leaving us in the dark is even worse. So bonus points if you can actually find a hobby you can do in the dark. I'm not gonna make the joke that's on everyone's mind. Moving on. That is it for me. The song of the week. See, I'm so ill prepared, I don't know. Excuse me while I go hunt for something relevant to this episode. Oh, I got it. Okay, never mind. I was actually thinking of the song for last week's episode, but then I found the Linkin Park song that just fit better because, you know, they just jump out at you on your Spotify playlist when you least expect it. But yeah, so the song of this week is Old Ways by Demi Lovato. And one of the lyrics in the song is, I'm not going back to my old ways. Which, the way she sings it is just so good. Like, the song is just the story and you need to just listen to it. I'm not even gonna say anything else. Like, go listen to that freaking song and go do it now when you're done. That's it. I'm done. Okay. Keep being a better being. And yeah, love you. Bye.